America's warriors, citizen soldiers. America's youth answered the call when it came. Our proud history in the last 100 years includes Verdun, Bastogne, Corregidor, Iwo Jima, Incheon, Khe Sanh, the Persian Gulf. They didn't say, "What's in it for me?" These young people left their homes, schools, jobs, their families. They served their country, putting their own lives at risk, and then returned home to resume their lives as best they could. But their world had changed.
I have a wife at home, have a little girl at home, my wife's pregnant, and I'm ready to go back to work as soon as they call me.
In the early 1980s, unemployment in western Pennsylvania was chronic. Hardest hit were the baby boomers, many of whom were veterans of the Vietnam War. Men and women who a decade earlier had returned from the war to take jobs in manufacturing plants and mills up and down Pittsburgh's rivers. Then those jobs were gone. Suddenly, veterans were unable to meet the needs of their families and send their children to college, make mortgage payments, put food on the table. They were facing another war, the war on unemployment, a war many of them were not equipped to fight on their own, a war nobody wants to lose. America's military lives by the bonds of brotherhood, bonds that transcend race, color, and creed. This bond compelled other veterans to help their less fortunate comrades redirect their lives by offering hope, by creating the Vietnam Veterans Leadership Program.
Sometimes I just feel sometimes the world is against me, but coming out here make me feel strong, you know, make me keep on going, keep on reaching.
Since 1982, VVLP has provided hope to unemployed and homeless veterans in the form of retraining, counseling, job placement, transitional housing, real-world solutions to real-world problems. From the agency's humble beginnings to the present day, VVLP has successfully placed thousands of local veterans into subsidized jobs and provided support services for hundreds of homeless veterans and their families.
How to look for a job, how to search for a job, how to interview. And that's what we do down there right now. We teach that.
Not long ago, this was a face of despair, one of the many veterans trapped in the cycle of unemployment.
In April of '90, I left the military, left the Navy, after 8.5 years. At the same time, I became a new single parent, 3 small children. So I found myself in a position where I wasn't sure what to do.
VVLP helps veterans like Marie overcome the trauma of unemployment as a result of economic shifts and trends. VVLP is one of the few organizations in the United States that provides a multidisciplined approach to serving veterans and their family members. It is the only agency of its kind within the tri-state area. VVLP has become a leader in designing innovative and effective self-help programs that benefit veterans for all conflicts, not just Vietnam.
Now I own my own home. 2 years ago I finished my degree at Duquesne. I've started on some graduate courses. My oldest daughter is about to graduate from high school. She's going on to college.
VVLP offers its clients open-ended assistance with unemployment, housing, transportation, and life skills training. Complete case management of support services, including referrals for job training, mental and medical health needs, and child care. We also provide homeless and unemployed veterans and their families the greatest opportunity to become self-sufficient, contributing members of our community. VVLP and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs estimate that 1/3 of all homeless individuals in Allegheny County are veterans of U.S. military service. Yet less than 2% of homeless-related dollars are directed to homeless veterans.
I see the good in you, what you could be, not what you were going through, not what you've been through, but the person that you could become.
A little over a year ago, I was an ex-Marine, recent college graduate, making more money than perhaps I'd ever did in my life before, and yet I was profoundly unhappy, frustrated. At the time, I didn't realize that I was succumbing to a profound and enduring depression. I was the adult child of an alcoholic.
VVLP not only has taken hundreds of homeless veterans like Paul off the streets and put them back into the workforce, but has also had a salary impact of millions of dollars on the region's economy.
I didn't feel comfortable going into a social service agency. I found a much higher level of comfort walking into the offices of VVLP. I was an ex-Marine. Ted Rosick, who's a program director there, is a sergeant major in the Marine Corps, and I knew that I could find space there to work. Initially, I used their computer resources to refine my resume, a resume that has served me well and represented me well.
VVLP provides outreach services to homeless veterans through collaboration with such agencies as Operation Save a Life, the VA Medical Center, the Salvation Army, and area soup kitchens and shelters. VVLP's program is staffed by veterans who were once homeless themselves.
While I was there, some of the counselors had advised me that because I had not long ago moved away from my home of 23 years and was at that time essentially homeless, that I would be eligible for the housing program. That piece became critical because it allowed me time to rest, time to think, time to regroup, and time to plan. And I used that time wisely. In fact, I am better positioned today at the end of the program than I was when I came into the program a year ago during the onset of crisis.
With the second highest per capita concentration of veterans in the United States located in southwestern Pennsylvania, the Vietnam Veterans Leadership Program is truly vital to the successful future of this population. Veterans understand the discipline and get-it-done attitude because they lived it.
And I get a phone call from him, and he says, "Jim, I got this job." And the sound over the phone, he is so happy and so pleased with himself. That's my greatest joy.
The funding VVLP receives from federal, state, and local government contracts and grants, and from local foundations, corporations, and individuals, allows the agency to provide its programs cost-free to a diverse client base of veterans, including management-level professionals recently laid off or separated from the service. Currently, VVLP operates job placement and training programs for the Pennsylvania Department of Labor, County of Allegheny, and the local United Way.
United Way has supported some of the innovative services of VVLP, such as their program Dads, Dedicated and Achieving Dads, helping our veterans and their families reunite with their children. They also provide a program every Monday on the North Side, working in partnership with the Salvation Army and our Veterans Administration, providing clinic services and Project Stand Down to make sure that our veterans and their families are getting medical assistance. Over these many years, we have watched this program grow. It continues to take advantage of all the funding sources, both federal, state, and local, and is a partner to United Way and many of our foundations.
In the last 3 years in Western Pennsylvania, VVLP has served almost 3,000 veterans, of which more than 700 were, by definition, homeless. Over 1,000 of those veterans have returned to the workforce at an average wage in excess of $10 an hour. But the VVLP cannot rely on existing funding alone to support our programs and to create new programs to meet the emerging needs of our clients. With your support to the Vietnam Veterans Leadership Program, we will continue to work towards improving the quality of life for all veterans in our community, to serve the thousands of men and women from our area whose service to our country helped to preserve the quality of life that is our heritage.
Sadly, the events of recent months only serve to emphasize the importance of VVLP, because those that now serve will return from their duty and rejoin the workforce, but some will have more difficulty than others making that transition, and VVLP must and will be there to help.